Hi, I'd like to share an evangelistic talk that I gave a few months ago. It was in a pottery painting event, so I've tried to incorporate that theme in my talk. By no means do I consider myself an evangelistic speaker, but this is what I came up with. I'll share it with you and you can chat about it in your groups and maybe give me some feedback later. Okay. Thank you for inviting me to be with you tonight. It's been fun learning a new skill. You can decide if I've been successful or not, but I hope you've had fun painting your mugs and your egg cups. It was a kindness, wasn't it, that we were given new pottery to paint with, rather than old stuff that we needed to upcycle, because at least mine looked good when I began. But upcycling is a trend these days, isn't it? Taking objects or materials that are a bit old, worn or broken and working on them, fixing them, decorating them so that they're more aesthetically pleasing now, maybe have a higher value than before we started, or just more to our taste. People paint battered chest of drawers, they sand and varnish old doors to make them into tables, they reupholster an armchair, all with the intention of hiding the cracks and blemishes and transforming them into something beautiful. Maybe that's your plan for your Christmas presents this year. I wonder, have you seen the repair shop on the BBC where Jay Blades and his teams are given precious but damaged family heirlooms and they very cleverly restore them to their former glory? They reveal the finished product to the family at the end of the show and there's emotional music playing, there's smiles and tears everywhere. The cracks are covered, it's been repaired and restored, it looks fresh, lovely and new. I'm sure there'll be a Christmas special coming out soon. Do you sometimes wish, though, that there was a repair shop for people? Somewhere you can go to fill the cracks and cover the blemishes, fix our broken parts and make us presentable and lovely again, like that best version of you can think of, or like that picture of you on holiday 20 years ago. I guess that kind of thing is available, isn't it, but at a price. But I'm not just talking physically. Do you sometimes feel it would be nice to have repairs done on the inside too? To heal our fractured emotions, to boost our smashed self-esteem, to fill our aching hearts or to quell those self-frustrations, to calm our racing minds and just refresh our depleted energy supplies. Because life is hard, isn't it? It's just exhausting to try and keep it all together when so many sad and difficult things happen and they just chip away at us. There's deep suffering in the world right now, and maybe in your personal lives too. And sometimes that just breaks us. Yet we try very hard to paint over the cracks with a, yeah, I'm fine, thanks, when someone asks, or we sand down the edges with a rigorous diet and exercise regime, or we reupholster our heart with busyness and activities. But I'm sure we've all felt at some point there's a little Humpty Dumpty inside of us that no one, not even Jay Blades and his experts, can put back together again. We've had those days when we just want to curl up in bed, ignore the world and cry, I'm broken. Do you feel that you need a bit of putting back together again every once in a while? I do. I often feel broken and cracked, and those cracks hurt. And if I'm honest, it's not just that other people or hard circumstances have broken me. There are cracks in my personality that are just ugly too, like my anger or my judgmentalism. How do I begin to fix those? Chris Martin and his Coldplay buddies know what I'm talking about. Do you remember one of their greatest hits? When you try your best but you don't succeed. When you get what you want but not what you need. When you feel so tired but you can't sleep, stuck in reverse. And the tears come streaming down your face when you lose something you can't replace. When you love someone but it goes to waste, could it be worse? And then the chorus offers some hope. And for Gavin and Stacey fans, I won't recite it like Pete, but it goes like this. Lights will guide you home and ignite your bones, and I will try to fix you. We need fixing. Our world needs fixing, but how? Well, maybe the answer is a bit of DIY. To cover the cracks and blemishes of my life with some good deeds, a respectable job, charitable acts, church attendance. That'll make me look good, and if everyone did that, we'd be fixed, right? These are the super glue and the paints that we use to cover up ourselves, make us presentable to others, to ourselves and to God even. But we know that doesn't really address the deep cracks that I can still feel inside. We need someone to fix us. Like the repair shop, we need a master craftsman who knows what we're meant to be like. He can see the problem and has the skill to repair us, and is also willing to devote blood, sweat and tears to restore us. The Christian story is just that. In the Bible, God describes himself as a master craftsman, as the potter and we are the clay. We are the work of his hands, lovingly moulded and marked by his fingerprints. He's made us to love him and others perfectly. He made us to know deep joy and fulfillment. He made us with a glorious purpose of being known and loved by him. But that seems so far from our experience of life in this world, doesn't it? Well, the Christian story continues, and it says it's because we've walked off the potter's wheel and turned our backs on who we were made to be, turned our backs on our Maker and all he offers. And this is the main thing that's broken about all humanity. We live life ignoring our life giver, our sustainer, and the one who invites us to call him Father. So our world is broken and we're broken, and we feel it so often. You might expect the potter to want to throw us away and start again, but he doesn't. Miriam, my daughter, had a potter's wheel for Christmas last year, I think it was, and she made me some pots. Can you see this here? They're not great, are they, to be honest? But they're precious to me because Miriam made them. And you are precious and worth a lot because of the one who made you. Our God sees us as precious and full of worth because he made us in his image and likeness. He knows our deepest cracks and our most ugly imperfections, but that doesn't repel him. Rather, it draws him closer to come fix us. So close that the potter became clay. It's what we celebrate at Christmas. God became a little baby in Bethlehem. Jesus came close to fix us. The ultimate restorer stepped into the brokenness of this world and desired not only to restore us to a former glory, but to make us his prized possession, to be more than a family heirloom, but to be family. Our brokenness might leave us feeling worthless, but God sees us differently. Because of his love, he sees us as worth fixing. The potter became clay, but without our cracks and imperfections. Jesus lived a pure and blameless life. He wasn't immune to the brokenness of this world. Like us, he felt pain, he knew loneliness, he experienced rejection, yet never once did he blame God or ignore God, his Father. He was completely faithful. But the story continues. The innocent Jesus suffered a death that looked like the Father was throwing him on the scrap heap of broken vases. He became cracked and broken so that we could be made whole. He dealt with the root of our brokenness and healed our biggest crack, our separation from God due to our rejection of him. He put us back together again by offering us a place back in the tender hands of our potter and Father. 3 days later, God raised Jesus back to life again, the big reveal to prove that brokenness won't have the final say anymore and offer humanity the ultimate makeover, the biggest upcycle ever. When Jesus was on this earth, he said, "I have come that they may have life and have it to the full." There is good news for those of us who feel our brokenness. It's Jesus' restoration project. Trust him, the one who restores brokenness to beauty. You may know, more than I do, that in Japan there are many cultural traditions, and one is a tea ceremony. For centuries it's been a spiritual and artistic practice. But when a precious tea bowl breaks, the families of the tea master will often keep the broken bowls for generations after and have them mended later on by artisans who use lavish technique known as kintsugi. Kintsugi masters mend tea bowls with Japanese lacquer and gold. A bowl mended with gold is more valuable than the original tea bowl was before it broke. Let me show you a picture. This is what it looks like. Can you see that? The Japanese word kin apparently means gold and sugi means mend. So this kintsugi bowl was broken and then mended, but in the process it also became a new creation, completely unique and now priceless. God hasn't thrown us away because we're broken. In his love and dedication, like a kintsugi master, he's gone about fixing us, putting us back together with the gold of his Son, Jesus. Jesus' life, death and resurrection is the gold that fills up our cracks, our imperfections. See, no one is too broken for Jesus to put back together. As Jesus died, the perfect Son of God was cracked and scarred. His hands, feet and side still bear those cracks now to show the cost of fixing us and to remind us that by his wounds we are healed. As God's children, like that kintsugi pot, our cracks may still be visible because life doesn't suddenly become perfect and easy. But what fills our painful cracks, what fixes our brokenness, is the gold that flows from the cracks of Christ that restores us. It's knowing him that makes us whole. If you're a Christian here tonight, you're a new creation, fixed by precious gold, the life of Jesus. Cracks still visible, yes, but wonderfully bound together and made strong in Jesus' love. If you're not a Christian, can I ask, do you want to be restored? Do you feel your life needs a bit of an upcycle? Are you ready to admit that you're broken and hurting? Are you willing to lay down your life, yourself, on the table of the ultimate repair shop and be fixed and restored by Jesus himself and know peace and joy and purpose and fulfillment? You can ask for that makeover anytime and feel the gold of God flow through you to make you whole. Ask someone here tonight if you're intrigued by Jesus and what he offers. Ask them about it. Or if you're confused or just downright disagree with everything I've said, that's fine, come and chat to me later. Or please take these leaflets on the table home if you want to quietly go away and investigate the Christian story. Thank you for listening. Carry on with your painting and enjoy the evening.